Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. Alright folks, here we are on Thursday, November 9th. I thought we'd take an updated look at ACB today with earnings and, whatever the reaction is going to be, positive, negative, sideways. I thought we'd see some levels, trend lines, take a look at the ThinkorSwim study and see where things are situated there, and call it a video. So downtrend resistance, obviously the most important component of this chart to me. It recently broke through this, but it's really doing a little bit of too much, for my comfort at least, a little bit of a curl down toward that downtrend resistance again. And the reason I say that is because all too often we see a stock that's been under distress, right? It's mostly moving down, and it breaks a recent downtrend resistance, and then it just kind of curls itself back down underneath it again. And it's just a common thing that seems to happen, and so I'm always sort of hyper vigilant of that. Now, this catalyst could give it the oomph to get some real distance from this downtrend resistance. So that's the other possibility here is, maybe this is the necessary catalyst to get it away. It just needs some distance. It needs to get itself away from this trend line, and then I'd feel more comfortable saying, okay, maybe it's left that behind. Now, it has a very, very near-in level here for potential support or resistance, depending on which side it ends up on, 47.18. If it does sink down further than that, 42.58 and 41 would be levels that I'd be watching. There is a gap up here that it could get into at 61.48, and then it could fill at 65.05. Obviously, that would be a nice bump percentage-wise if it made it all the way up there. Now, in an effort to not want to clutter up the chart, I didn't put in a bunch of additional levels, but there is another one right here around 58.75. So that could sort of give it some challenge prior to getting into the gap. And yeah, not a strong level there, but that's where I would say if it does get a nice bump up, I would watch this recent high, right, for it to get over there. So in other words, get into the low 50s securely, and then kind of get over that like 58, 59 level. That would be the clearance that it would need, or those would be the sticky points that it would need to sort of overcome to get into that gap. Now, if it does fill the gap and continues going for the next several days or weeks or what have you, 72, 37, 82, 02 to the upside as I see it. Now, on the ThinkorSwim study, let me just get ACB. So here we see recent conviction candle, several days back, but that was, I believe, a cross of the 13 EMA crossing below the 48 EMA. Don't quote me on that. But that's sort of what triggers that. And it's obviously not 100%. It's like anything. It's, it's a signal, but signals can misfire and misread all the time. But it did get a nice push down, push to the bottom bound of the channel, and now has come up and is wrestling right at earnings with the mid-range of the channel. So it's set up in a nice place for it to make a big move if it wants to, or who knows, it could continue to pin itself to the mid-range of that channel and just kind of sidestep for a while. But we'll see what the reaction is. Now, that said, on the histogram here, we don't see anything firing on the TTM squeeze indicator, but the histogram has died down to the baseline and is even showing, I think this is a smidge of bullish momentum here for these last two candles, if my old eyes aren't deceiving me. But we'll see if that trends sort of take shape. If there's follow through on that, we do see the RSI sort of coming slightly down at the same time. So it's really an indecisive sort of motion at the moment. It's just kind of hanging out, waiting for its next move. But at the same time, like I said, is not triggering yet on the TTM squeeze indicator. Even though it is caught with the mid-range of the channel, it is still technically in a downtrend per this ThinkorSwim study at least. So that's what I'll be watching for. It could be interesting. Who knows? All right, folks. I hope that you have had a good trading week. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.